This episode is brought to you by
JG
Graybill!
Woo! Now enjoy the episode. Welcome to episode 140. As you can see, we're not together. There has been an impromptu snowstorm in March that is really kind of horrible, but like, whatever.
Bomb cyclone.
Whatever a bomb cyclone is.
That doesn't exist. That only exists in Iowa. You know that.
Yeah. But anyway, we're here on Zoom, but we have a wood backdrop and it's better than Owen's.
Yeah, we can punch ours.
And get hurt from it.
I can punch mine too. And get hurt. Okay.
Get hurt from ours.
There's a difference there.
Say something crazy, you can't knock on the wood because that's fake wood. This
Okay.
is real.
Now, Owen,
done it
I have
before,
a
though.
very, very, very serious question to ask you.
Okay.
Doors or wheels?
Oh no, we're not doing this.
No, we have to know
This is
your
the most
opinion.
generic thing that everybody's doing right now.
I know, but that's why we have to do it, Owen. What is your opinion? Where do you
Doors.
stand on this more?
Doors.
Wait, I'm confused. Why are we? I've never heard this before.
So basically, the question is: are there more doors or wheels in the world?
It's an
What do we-
incredibly dumb question, and I don't know why
it's
we're spending
horribly
5
dumb
seconds on it.
question.
What do we classify as a door and what do we classify as a wheel?
What? What do you mean?
Like because
That's a valid question.
there
That's another controversial part about this question that is going around.
because Lego makes so many different wheels every single day.
That's
Exactly.
a wheel, yeah.
Yeah.
So those count.
Yeah.
Sure.
Lego, Hot Wheels,
Hot Wheels, there's like so many different Hot Wheels.
and no doors to go along with those wheels.
So that means there's got to be more wheels,
There's
right?
definitely more wheels in this world.
Sticking with
Oh,
doors.
I want to hear your reasoning with doors. Because
I don't want to give my reasoning because then we'll be talking about this longer. I think that there are more doors.
But you're wrong. So I want to hear why you're wrong.
Well, then why is this a question? If it's so easily wheels, then why are we even discussing it?
Because people think doors and they're wrong at heart because their opinions don't matter.
Gotcha. Okay.
I just want to go back to my old days and watch Dora the Explorer.
Yeah.
She was the best door.
Get
You're so funny.
there. That was really good.
Imagine if they had another show, a knockoff, a spinoff called Wheel of the Explorer. I would totally watch that.
I mean, the Phillies have a pitcher named Zach Wheeler, so he would be a good guest star.
True.
I don't have anyone named Door though.
No,
So that one doesn't work.
unfortunate. But you know it's not unfortunate. The
Geico
fact
can save you 15% or more on car insurance.
no, the fact
Okay.
that one of number 2 of 3 for Luke's presents has arrived, and I
2 of
have it in
3?
my possession.
Right
So,
now?
We weren't supposed to say of 3, but that's fine.
oh, whatever. Okay, so
Yep.
I have it, and I'm gonna go get it.
I didn't even see you bring anything here.
Yeah, I know.
Great job, Parker.
He had a big puffy jacket on, so that probably was why I didn't see it.
So smart.
I don't-
Very
you-
stealthy. by
He's like
Parker.
over there. He's like
Good for
headed out at a chair.
Luke, turn around.
Okay.
So yeah, Luke, our thing was gonna be that we were just gonna like keep giving you presents, and like you would always think it's the last one, but yeah, this is 2 out of 3.
Playing with that. I mean, that can't be that bad of a prank, right?
Okay.
No.
Turn around. Ready?
I am ready. Kind of
All right.
nervous, but I'm ready.
All right, here you go.
Oh, that's
A
cool.
Marvel quote book.
Oh, that is amazing.
It has all the best Marvel quotes in it.
I'm going to memorize every quote in there,
I looked through it to make sure they had all the best quotes.
and then I'm literally just going to use them, like on.
And that's where this backfires.
Thor. His last name is Odinson. Oh, it's telling what movie it's
Yeah,
from.
yeah,
Okay, that
yeah.
makes sense.
My favorite Marvel quote is the one from Falcon and the Winter Soldier that you told us about. That was it
Is
was
that
like
in-
sometimes there's nothing that happens until something that's bizarrely wise.
I don't think that's in here. No.
We failed then.
And
This is so
it,
good.
it shows all the best quotes from every single character. Oh, it's so awesome. Dude,
Oh yes. Maybe that's a good one.
Yeah. Luke's just going through.
So is that one.
You can't see the quotes that he's saying.
Yeah, it's really great content when you, one, don't say the quote that you're laughing at, and two, don't show it at all. People can really easily tell what's going on.
Oh, this dialogue between Thor and Banner. That's so good.
Yeah.
Oh, this is amazing.
So yeah, you can go through it later.
Oh, I
and read
100%
them
will
all.
read every single one of these later.
But-
Thank you guys. This is legit.
Yeah. So
This is amazing.
Gave 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Marvel's his one true love in life.
Uh-huh.
You got it.
It
right
still
there.
is.
Still is. Always will be.
Oh man. Well, I didn't think we were going to start with the doors and wheels. So yeah, that was good that we got the present. And now we can talk about the highly anticipated topic from last week. Will
Yes.
Parker play volleyball? We put
Yes.
it on the polls. We've recently started doing polls again once the episode comes out on the Instagram story early in the week, put out the polls, which are just fantastically out of context questions if you haven't listened to the episode already. And the first one was, should Parker play volleyball? 49 votes for yes, 3 votes for no. So just complete agreement from everyone, a resounding yes. And Parker, you want to tell them how the past week has gone?
Well, I have to give it to you. You guys, you fans, you came out in numbers and in support of me playing volleyball now. I literally didn't know what to do, right? I wasn't sure if I was going to play volleyball or do dance theater. You know, I was like flip-flopping back and forth. And so, you know what I did? I did what any logical person does. I made a pros and cons list to figure out the answer, right? And so I started listing down pros and cons. And, you know, one of my cons was that I was going to be missing a trip to Utah if I played volleyball. But then I was like, no, wait, I can actually just go and hang out with Luke the entire week. And so I was like, that's actually a pro. And that flipped it in favor of volleyball.
You did it, Luke. You created Parker's volleyball career.
You know what
Parker.
another pro is?
You get to decide what kind of king you are going to be someday.
Simba.
Please read quotes from that book with no context throughout the episode.
Oh, I will.
Good idea.
Yeah, so I chose volleyball and I've had 2 practices so far. Oh my gosh, I'm like unbelievably sore. Like
You're not used to using those muscles.
my
Yeah,
triceps for some reason are like killing me. And my shoulders are like, man, they're
Just like from these movements of your
Yeah.
arms that you're not quite used to.
Yeah. Whew. And basically my entire legs are just like really like mushy. But it's so fun, man. I love volleyball. I'm having a great time. Yeah, the first 2 practices really fun. Whenever you get like a nice dig, you know, it just feels really good when you pop it up right to your teammate. Or I haven't really gotten a whole lot of these, but if you get like a block, it feels really good. Or like a clean spike, you know. Whew, yeah, it feels really good. So, yeah, I love volleyball so far. So I definitely made the right decision. Yeah, definitely made the right decision.
So come out to the volleyball games to see Parker dominate.
Well, I don't know if I'm gonna play it all.
Will come.
Yeah, you could
He's
come
gonna be
to
starting. He's gonna be playing the whole time, every single second. So
and you can play-by-play for volleyball too.
I know. Yeah, I gotta figure out if we're doing that.
Volleyball knowledge.
So yeah, I don't know any of the I know the like general plays, but I don't know like strategies or even positions of volleyball.
Oh,
so
nice kid.
I have to
Now,
learn
this
that.
is a good hit. Oh, and he spikes it. What a nice spike.
Yeah.
And the save. What a nice save.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it would be. It'd be like, and he passes. Oh, they hit it over. And here comes the return. Good block there. They get a point. Now we do the serve. Yeah. It'd be interesting.
Oh man.
But yeah,
Yeah,
it would be a good learning curve. Parker and I would both be on learning curves. His slightly harder because he's actually playing volleyball, but still learning curve.
Yeah.
True. Slightly harder. I do feel bad for all the people that I told I was doing dance theater and then I just didn't do dance theater. But they were
volleyball team really, they're great recruiters. They are very good at it.
Also
it's literally because half of them are like businessmen. They're all in like FBLA and stuff like that.
Another pro is that I have to tell Mr. Newman that I'm doing volleyball because I got your class.
Yes.
I got your class notes on every CNN 10 quiz from here on out.
Mm-hmm. I told him. Yeah. He was like, wait, really? He was like shocked that you actually did it.
Yeah. Well,
So-
I didn't do it because like, even though 49 of you came out and said that you wanted me to do it, there's people telling me that since like, 3 months ago. So I did it more for myself. I thought I would enjoy it more. And I definitely think I have enjoyed it more. I can't imagine like dancing right now. I think I definitely made the right decision. Volleyball has been super fun. So
Parker,
That's good. Yeah.
You can't do the things that I can, but you don't, and then bad things happen. They happen because of you. So the choosing volleyball
was Spider-Man. I knew that one.
I think it was, yeah.
I thought it said Captain Marvel.
Oh no, maybe you're right.
Oh, I gotta refind it.
You might be wrong, Owen.
Well,
Oh, you also might be right.
Oh no, it's Peter Parker. I saw Captain America: Civil War.
You're right.
nailed it. Let's go. Do I get a point for that?
No, there's
No?
no point. It's just quoting. That makes Parker feel better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Do you guys have anything else that you wanted to talk about from this week or past weeks before we get into the crazy amount of sports stuff that happened?
Well, my basketball season is over. That's why I'm playing volleyball now.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Went to states.
Went to states, lost to Norristown. They were really solid. All 5 of their starters were seniors, so they were experienced. And yeah, they were just really fast and really good. So
The future of Hempfield basketball is bright, though. 2
Very
juniors that start, 1 sophomore. So
Yeah, we should be solid. And there's a couple juniors that come off the bench as well. So
Often, yeah.
yeah, we're gonna be solid next year, definitely.
do you think that you'll, like, since you're still going to be around, you'll go to the games?
Oh yeah, I'll come watch them.
That would be
Maybe
cool.
not every game, but definitely the important games,
Mhm.
Or like if I'm free some
Yeah.
night.
I'll go with you because I'll still be in high school.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. That'd be fun.
There you go.
Oh, and Owen, you can fly home from Florida to come
For
watch.
every single game.
For
Owen,
everyone.
you can still come.
You could do the
You
play-by-play.
should do play-by-play, and I should color commentate.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Then I could watch the live stream and it would kind of be like we're watching it together. You guys should try to do that. I don't know if they would let Parker. Can a non-student do?
I don't think so.
I'll connect with
Broadcast?
Mag G. I'll connect with Mag G. He's my G.
Well, you should
Yeah.
color commentate and have somebody else do the play-by-play, because I probably won't be able to.
No one will ever one up Owen though.
Luke
No.
could do the play-by-play and then Parker could do color because he knows all of the basketball strategies and lingo and stuff.
Oh yeah, true.
So you
true.
could give more analysis.
I was watching.
I don't think I'd be very good at that, but
Guys, you need to tune in 9:00 tonight. Okay. You actually, I'm not talking to the viewers here. I'm talking to Owen and Luke.
It's too late for the viewers.
It's too late for the viewers. But viewers, if you ever get a chance to see Bill Walton color commentate a basketball game, it is the best thing ever.
you will not be disappointed.
Yesterday, I was watching Arizona versus Colorado, and Bill Walton was going off. He was talking about how like Arizona and Colorado like meet in this one corner, like like the corner where like the states meet or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like,
The 4 corners.
yeah, the 4 corners, and then he's like talking about the wilderness and how this guy is like a gazelle with the ball, and oh man, he's
So good.
And then he starts talking about like the Ukraine war, and he's like,
Oh,
yeah,
didn't ESPN cut his mic? Like
Yeah.
he said something about Russia, and then it just like stopped.
yeah,
I
yeah,
did see that.
yeah. No, he said he was gonna like go into Russia and beat up all the Russians, and then he's amazing. So 9 o'clock tonight, UCLA takes on Arizona.
Which is just a great game without Bill Walton.
Oh yeah, it's both of
And
them
then
are
Bill
going to
Walton
be like
being there.
top 4 seeds in March Madness. So I'm just gonna watch the game just to see how well they do. But then Bill Walton's gonna be commentating it, and it's gonna be amazing. So don't miss it. 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock tonight.
It's very unfortunate that Bill Walton is always doing the West Coast games, because then they're so late and it's like you don't get to see it as much. It's not really prime time stuff, which might be ESPN's plan. They're like, let's just put Bill Walton here when most people are asleep and then just let him do his thing.
He does the Pac-12. Out west, it is prime time.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
And
I guess that's true.
And that's where all the schools are from, like Colorado, Arizona, UCLA, USC, Oregon. They're all in that time zone 3 hours behind us.
Here it's late, but yeah, that's true. Those people get a good dosage of Bill Walton. So yeah, that game. If you're watching this or listening to this now, you can watch the highlights maybe on YouTube. But Luke's face lit up when you said Bill Walton. It was amazing. Like like he received the greatest present ever. That was just right in front of him. His face was glowing.
We might have to watch that game tonight, Luke. If you
I have work.
Well, if it gets canceled.
If they close, I won't have to go in.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, how bad does it have to get for Chick-fil-A to close?
Undrivable roads. And the roads are pretty bad right now, but if they get cleared and stuff, then I'll have to go in. So hopefully they don't get cleared, and hopefully it just keeps snowing harder and getting colder.
Yeah, well, it was so windy. Oh my word. Man,
which I think that's part of what makes it a bomb cyclone is like a lot of snow and a lot of wind. I don't know exactly what it is, but I think that sounds like it would be a part of it because cyclones are wind. So
it's to keep snowing till 3, and it's going to stay below freezing the entire time, and then it's going to get really windy and stay freezing, below freezing. So
I was supposed to have a volleyball scrimmage today, and I was looking so forward to it, but it got canceled. But it's on Tuesday now, so you be ready. I'm gonna I'm gonna tool those Wilson kids, and I'm gonna roof the Exeter kids. And
you're gonna tool and roof them?
Yeah, I know. I'm learning new terms, because
Parker,
I'm picking stuff up,
Parker, I like your plan, except it sucks. So let me do the plan, and that way it might be really good.
All right, you can tool and roof them.
That was a quote by Star-Lord.
We could make that a segment where like every week Parker gives us a new volleyball thing that he's learned.
Okay, yeah. So first week, something I've learned is that when you go for a block, you need to angle. So if you're on this side, you have to angle in so that when you block it, it goes down into the court. If you just keep it straight like this, it'll hit off and it'll just go out of bounds. You have to angle it in.
What do tool and roof mean?
Tool is like, I don't exactly 100% know. They've used the term, but I don't really know what it is. I think you hit it and it hits their hands and goes out of bounds, I think. And then I think roofing is just when you get like a block.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Let's get into the big news because there's so much of that.
Yeah. What do you guys want to talk about first? All the NFL craziness, baseball finally being back, March Madness. Obviously, by the time this comes out, Selection Sunday will have happened.
Yeah, that's true. That's so exciting.
Let's talk about baseball first because we know it's back, but there's not a whole ton to talk about with it, just the fact that it's back. So we can start with that.
Yeah, the details haven't really come out about the specifics of the agreement between the players and the owners. We just know that they have agreed on something.
Now, I think they're still planning to try and do 162 games. So
yeah, they can because they cut out, I think, 2 weeks. So they're able to make those up.
Yeah.
Probably.
So, I mean, that'd still be good. And as of right now, the schedule's on track for me to go see Kansas City and San Francisco. So.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, because I guess that affects
because like the plan was that like we're gonna see the Giants play the Royals in San Francisco, and we're gonna get to see Cam Gallagher play.
Yeah.
That is very cool.
Hopefully that doesn't get messed up with the rescheduling and whatnot. So yeah, the owners were basically just saying we don't have enough money to agree to the terms that the players want. We can't pay them this much. That's ridiculous. We lost a bunch of money. But basically everyone else other than the owners was like, no, you made a lot of money. And so they went back and forth, and the owners kept like throwing stuff into deals at the very end, and like the sides were not negotiating well at all. And then I don't know what changed. At some point they actually like started really talking to each other.
Maybe this is a symbol. I'm not really into baseball, but I see this as a symbol. Both sides were not cooperating, right? But then they finally found an agreement, just like hopefully the war between Ukraine and Russia right now. This baseball is like a precursor to what's going to happen in the coming weeks, hopefully in Ukraine and Russia.
Okay, so Russia is the owners?
Yeah.
And then Ukraine is the players?
Mm-hmm. I saw something that there were 4 teams that were like constantly disagreeing with all the owners' like proposals. And it was the Yankees and the Astros and the Mets and one other team that I can't remember.
The
Cardinals, that's who it was. And so like nobody likes the Yankees and the Astros. So they're probably the 2 most hated teams in the MLB.
Mm-hmm. And the Mets and the Cardinals are big market teams as well.
Yeah.
So
it's like
the Phillies are the best.
Obviously.
That game was a baseball game we went to.
We'll have to get another one. They're not expensive to go to. Like
yeah. The only thing
like comparatively speaking, they're not as expensive to go to.
Yeah. If we park like quarter mile away, half mile away, save money on parking, it's gonna be super cheap.
Yeah,
get some, just as long as we don't park in a shady place.
Yeah, and unlike the $310 tickets.
We didn't talk about that. Should we do that right now?
No. I think we should hold off on that until it happens.
Well, you guys.
Well, that's a random tease for a lot of you. Just Parker saying $310 tickets and nothing else.
Yep. Yeah, we're not gonna let you guys know that until it happens, and we'll give the post analysis.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
But we can transition now into the NFL.
The NAFALA.
There is a lot that just happened in like a very, very short time.
It was like a span of like a week.
And there was the biggest news happened in the span of like 4 hours.
Yep.
Basically, the first thing that came out was that Aaron Rodgers is staying with Green Bay.
Signing with the Packers
for like what? 200 million?
I thought it was 400.
4 years, 200 million.
Oh. Yeah, 4 years, 200 million.
4 years.
So that's like, whoa, like
that's insane.
That's whoa money. Yeah.
Especially because the initial, like the reports earlier in the day were like, if he does sign with the Packers, it'll be a real team-friendly contract because they're under a lot of issues with the cap and their spending. And so they were like, you might take a cheaper deal. And then it's 200 and just all that got blown out of the water.
Yeah.
One of the other things I think we're going to have to really be looking for is there was a lot of word about Davante Adams leaving and wanting to go with Aaron Rodgers. But now that Aaron Rodgers stays, does he take the franchise tag with Green Bay?
He did. Yeah.
Oh,
he took the franchise
tag. I mean, it makes sense. I hadn't seen.
So much happened in the NFL. It was just like, oh yeah, Davante Adams staying with the Packers. Okay, move on. Let's talk about all the quarterbacks because that's all we really care about in the NFL. So just, it was I think that the Davante Adams franchise tag might have been the same day as well, because it was just like everything
that's
happening one after the other.
I was so caught up in all the other stuff.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that happened. I don't know, probably like noon-ish.
Yeah.
And then in the afternoon, it's announced that the Broncos, who were considered like the top or one of the top candidates to get Rodgers now signs with the Packers. Everybody's like, oh man, Broncos didn't get him. That's too bad. Boom. They get Russell Wilson from the Seahawks, who we as Eagles fans were hoping to get. So that was a little sad. But yeah, now the Broncos are suddenly contenders because they were one of the teams that's like, they're a quarterback away is the phrase. Their roster is so good. They just needed somebody who's not Drew Lock. And Russell Wilson is going to make them so much better. And now the AFC West is just loaded.
See, here's the thing. Owen had this theory that Tom Brady could go to any of these number of teams, and it was just inevitable that they were going to win a Super Bowl.
There were only a few teams that he could have won a Super Bowl with. Parker thinks he could have won a Super Bowl with any team.
Well, Owen thinks, yeah, so he chose the perfect situation in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to prove to Owen, Russell Wilson going to the Broncos, that you can't just go to a team and win a Super Bowl. That's not how the world works.
Russell Wilson isn't as good as Tom Brady. Also, he's in a division with Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert.
Oh,
There's
yes.
other factors.
Excuses are already
start building up.
Yeah,
he has to lay his cushion for when the NFL season comes.
Yeah.
All right. How about this? The Broncos will get second place in the AFC West.
He doesn't even know his conferences and divisions.
AFC. The Broncos will beat the Chargers or the Chiefs for second place.
I don't agree with that.
There you go. Because I do think like the quarterback is obviously the most important position. So like the Bucs adding Tom Brady was huge because they replaced Jameis Winston 40 interceptions with a ghost. So like it elevates you so much. The Broncos are replacing Drew Lock with Russell Wilson. And they're in a very tough division, which is going to be incredibly entertaining for the rest of us. But there's going to be one or two really good teams in the AFC West that just don't make it.
Don't be surprised when Derek Carr wins the AFC West.
No, the Raiders are finishing last in that division.
That's what you believe, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I do believe that.
It's not reality, though. Derek Carr, AFC West champion 2023.
Wait, 2023?
Well, by the time the season's over.
I guess, yeah, now with 17 games, it ends early January. Okay. The 2022-2023 season.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
We won't do the thing where it's like rank the quarterbacks because everybody does that. But we can agree that the AFC West is
we should rank the long
essentially the best division ever, right?
Rank the kickers.
Or no, the long snappers.
Bengals,
I don't
number
know
one.
the long snappers.
Neither do I, but that's how we got to learn them.
I'm a young whippersnapper.
Sure.
Speaking
of the AFC West, they got even more loaded when they added Khalil Mack to the group. He went to the Chargers, and now the Chargers have Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack on opposite sides of their defensive line to go hit Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, Derek Carr.
I think hold on. Why would they hit Justin Herbert? Oh, wait, no. Okay, yeah. I was like, hold on. I'm really confused. Why would they hit Justin Herbert?
I don't think
they won't actually hit Justin Herbert in practice. They'll just kind of tap him.
But I think that the Chargers, they're going to be good. They're going to be really, really good. The Chargers are going to be loaded. I think Justin Herbert is finally going to, he's been insane the last 2 years, but I think this year he's going to hit his groove and they're just going to be winning nonstop.
He's going to look really hot.
Oh, yeah.
I'm calling it right now. Chargers going to go to the Super Bowl.
Wow. You two are both on the Chargers bandwagon for this year.
I will say that. Maybe. Do you think?
I said it first, so it's mine.
Fine. Chargers are going to win the Super Bowl.
Oh, you can't top that, Parker.
Fine. Chargers are going to turn into the Patriots. No, I can't say that. Never mind. Okay, you want on me. I say they're just going to the Super Bowl and they're going to lose.
Okay.
I think Chargers
to the Bills.
Well, they couldn't go. That can't happen.
In the Super Bowl?
They can't lose to the Bills in the Super Bowl.
Okay, I gotta rethink this. Come back to me in 5 months.
Okay. I think the Broncos I don't know. Because you guys are jumping on the Chargers bandwagon, I want to jump on the Broncos bandwagon, but at the same time, this is just so fun. I don't want to lock myself into one team.
And then you gotta understand that Derek Carr is just gonna throw missiles everywhere, and they're gonna win the Super Bowl.
The Broncos
no. And then Russell Wilson comes in, and the air is thinner in Denver, so his deep ball is, instead of going 70 yards, gonna go 110 yards, and they're gonna throw touchdowns every single time in the back of the end zone. But then you gotta remember that you got Patrick Mahomes, and he's just missiles to Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. And when they play in Denver, Harrison Butker is going to nail game winners from 80 plus yards out.
yeah, we're talking about jumping on the Chargers and Broncos bandwagons. And then, oh, yeah, there's also the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes. And it's just, yeah, such a good division. It's going to be so much fun.
It's going to be a crazy year with that division.
I'll tentatively put myself on the Broncos bandwagon because I think that they are, like I said, a quarterback away. And Russ is coming off a down year. He's going to come in, remind everybody how good he was. Not going to say they're going to win the Super Bowl, though. It's a bit much, Luke. But
well, you can't tentatively be on a bandwagon. Are you on it or are you not?
I think you can be tentatively on a bandwagon.
That's not how a bandwagon works.
That's what I think, too.
Yeah. You can be like jogging alongside the bandwagon, ready to hop on.
You're not on the
Then
bandwagon.
you're not on the bandwagon.
Okay, I'm next to the bandwagon. How about that?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that
but
doesn't mean
alongside
no
it.
significance.
then it just means that you're just watching from afar, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm watching from up close.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
I'm keeping an eye on the Broncos. How about that?
That.
There you go, but you're not on the bandwagon.
Yeah. No.
Nope, just keeping an eye on them.
No significance to that.
Yeah, that means you're keeping an eye on like every other team, keeping an eye,
Yeah,
watching.
But I'm keeping a close eye on the Broncos.
Yeah, you can watch them
Closer than everybody else.
Okay.
Oh
Nice.
my word. That was great.
What else happened in the NFL?
Carson Wentz came and went and then came again.
Yep. Might as well
Wentz
name
back to the NFC East.
the Cayman Islands.
What?
He probably just went there on vacation or something.
Oh,
He probably went hunting there.
He joins the team that Luke once pitched the business idea of calling them the Washington Washers, with a washing machine mascot
Children.
who runs around throwing children into it.
And now we can just throw Carson Wentz in.
Hey, at least I didn't suggest the. Oh wait, never mind. That was a different.
Jalen
team.
Hurts
Forget
is
what I
gonna
was saying.
put him in the spin cycle.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Unfortunately, they didn't go with that name. They're the Washington Commanders, but I think it's safe to say that the Eagles absolutely fleeced the Colts in this trade.
Oh, 100%. As soon as the Colts lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars, we knew the Eagles fleeced the Colts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They would have been in the playoffs, and you never know. When playoff time comes around, they could have won some games.
And the Colts were on fire. Like Jonathan Taylor was having his amazing run right after Luke traded him in fantasy. And people were like, oh, Colts sleeper playoff performance. And then
Be
boom,
fine with
done.
that.
The Colts?
Yeah. Unless they can get a good quarterback in there.
Which is what they've been trying to do for the last like 3 years. And they've failed every single time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know what they expected to do with Carson Wentz. Oh, man.
Not much.
He started off strong, and then he threw that one interception like in the back of his own end zone. He threw it like 2 yards to the other team, and people were like, yep, that's the Carson Wentz we remember. So,
Yeah.
I
The
don't
best
know.
summary of the trade that I saw is that the Eagles made the playoffs. The Colts didn't. First of all, just that is like, yeah, we won the trade. The Eagles made the playoffs. The Colts didn't. The Eagles got a first-round pick from the Colts, which they haven't even used yet. And they used the third-round pick they got from the Colts to trade up to get Devonta Smith. We won in 3 different ways. And the Colts don't have Carson Wentz anymore. That too. So, yeah, it's going to be so fun to have Carson Wentz back in the division. We get to play him twice, once at home, obviously. I'll be interested to see how fans receive him, because like it's not like Ben Simmons where everybody hates Carson Wentz. It was kind of like a weird situation where it was like, he's a good guy, he just got hurt, he played really well for us, and there was like, I still don't know what happened with him and Howie and Doug when all of it fell apart. Like it was a very weird situation. So it's not the same as Ben Simmons. So I think he'll get a little bit of like cheering, maybe a few boos, just because it was a very strange situation.
I mean, clearly there was not enough hunting for him to do in Indianapolis. So he had to move to Washington, D.C., where there is literally only streets and houses. So he's going to
So do you think he's going to play well for the Commanders now?
Oh,
Because that was Parker's thing, is that Wentz doesn't play well because he hunts too much.
Yeah, he's going to probably be amazing, probably beat the Eagles both times.
Okay. Gotcha.
think the Washington Commanders are going to be mid this year, and I don't think their name is going to help at all.
Mhm.
I was
What are their
really proud of
jerseys?
Washington last year. I had them winning the division last year. It didn't work out. I feel like this year's the year for them.
Mm.
I think they're going to be mid. I think they're going to be sitting at a solid like 7-10.
Sure.
Which honestly, saying that in the NFC East could win the division.
Yeah.
So I mean, I say mid, but that could win the division in the NFC East. So
Yeah, it's not like anyone has made huge improvements to their
I think,
teams.
yeah, I think they're going to go 7-10. I don't think that they're going to be crazy good, but I also don't think that they're going to be like a 2-win team.
Mm-hmm. And the Cowboys are set to potentially lose Amari Cooper, so that would weaken the division even more. We'll see how that plays out. But
moving on to some more big football news. Deshaun Watson has had all his criminal charges cleared, which means he's going somewhere.
Yeah.
I
want him to go to the Eagles.
That I still don't know if I want him, because it's like, yeah, the legal system is confusing, but like he cleared charges, but he still has to go through another process.
Yeah.
So it's like he hasn't been completely.
It's also like he's been out of football for
not guilty.
He's been out of football for almost 2 years now, and it's like,
oh, I prefer that in my quarterback, because he's like 26 and his body has not been hit as much as other 26-year-olds. So I would prefer that.
I'm sure he probably hasn't stopped throwing a football. I'm sure he's been working, because he obviously knew if his charges got dropped or cleared or whatever, he was going to go back.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's been working. So, yeah, I mean,
he hasn't been hit by 300-pound defensive linemen. So,
yeah, there's potential there. I don't know. I mean, it seems like the Eagles are always interested in somebody, and then it just never works out. But
yeah, I would say I want Deshaun Watson if he gets ruled completely not guilty in all of
if he can avoid all
cases.
If he can avoid all legal troubles and like be completely cleared of everything and not have to worry about losing a quarterback midseason because of legal issues, that's a solid QB that I want on my team.
Yeah.
I would say I want Deshaun Watson if he knows like that he didn't do anything, right?
That sounds nice. Impossible to prove.
Yeah, I know, but like even if all charges are dropped against him, but he did stuff anyway, I don't want him.
Yeah.
Bad character. I don't want a leader that acts like that, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Unfortunately, there's no way to like 100% know. Only he knows, and like he's not gonna. It's a tough situation. I don't envy the team owners and executives who have to make those decisions, but we'll see. I saw that the Eagles are definitely up there in those talks, so we'll see. Other people that the Eagles almost acquired: Calvin Ridley. Apparently Howie Roseman was very close to trading for Calvin Ridley, and then that shut down when he was suspended 1 year for gambling on NFL games.
Ha! Oh, so
do you see what Eagles? I sent you guys this, but what Eagles fans started doing when they saw that charge?
Yeah,
that they started accusing Jalen Reagor of doing the same thing.
Yeah, Jalen Reagor came over to my house. I saw him on the street. He started paying me off. He said, "Hey, put $100 on the Eagles money line." Oh man, so
you should
funny.
Suspend him at NFL. This is terrible. Yeah. Oh my word. Eagles fans are creative. No one ever said that they were passive and not creative fans. Mean, sure, but definitely creative.
Yeah, especially towards the beginning of this past season, they were 100% passive. Like they didn't run the ball at all.
Ha.
Don't clap for that. No. Okay.
Anyway, you know what we should clap for?
I think that's all the NFL headlines. Did we miss any? There were so many.
College basketball.
Okay, here we go. This is Parker's time. March Madness. By the time this comes out, March Madness is starting. The brackets will be ready.
Should I give my predictions on who I think is going to be a 1 seed, who I think is going to be a 2 seed, who I think is going to be a 3 seed, who I think is going to be a 4 seed?
That might take a little while.
Let's do top 2 seeds.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
right. So the number one overall seed locked up 100% is going to be Gonzaga. Okay. And then let me pull up the rankings here. But number 2 overall seed is almost 100% going to be Arizona. Okay. So they're both going to be 1 seeds. I think Kentucky is going to work its way up to a 1 seed because I think they're going to win the SEC. And so now this fourth number 1 seed, the last 1 seed, comes down to for me, Baylor and Kansas. If Kansas wins the tournament, the Big 12 tournament, Kansas is the 1 seed, no doubt. Now, if they lose, you could toss it. It's a coin flip. It's almost a coin flip.
Okay.
I'm going to say that Kansas does win the tournament, Big 12 tournament. And so they're the last number 1 seed. Baylor is then pushed down to a 2 seed. Duke is firmly set on the 2 seed line at this point.
Okay.
Auburn is a 2 seed as well. Even with their loss, they dropped down to a 2 seed. They were a 1 seed, but with their loss to Texas A&M, they're now 2 seed. And then, so that's 3 2 seeds. And I think the 4th 2 seed is going to be Villanova, although Tennessee could make a push for it. It's between Tennessee and Villanova, but if one of them wins their tournament, they're going to be the 1 seed. So I'm going to say if they both win it, I think it'll be Villanova. So I'm going to lean towards Villanova.
Who would Kansas's biggest competition be in the Big 12 tournament?
Who's still in the Big 12?
Yeah.
Texas Tech.
Beat them in the tournament. Okay.
Texas Tech is probably the other highest seed. Mm-hmm. They play Texas Tech today at 6. So that's probably their biggest, because Baylor got knocked out.
Yeah.
So yeah, Texas Tech.
So that'll be fun for people to listen to because by the time this comes out, everyone will know all the seeds will be set. So that'll be an easy comparison for you guys. We will be obviously filling out March Madness brackets. Of course, Parker's the one who's the most locked in on it. We did a video last year that was the 3 levels of March Madness strategies, and Parker was obviously super prepared, and then I was just kind of in the middle, and Luke was guessing randomly. I'm still a fan of that video. First of all, hard to believe that was a year ago. I feel like we just did that. But do we want to go over just very general strategies, not team specific, just things you like to do, or not even strategies, just things that you like to do with your March Madness bracket when you're making your picks?
Sure. Yeah, sure. So when I'm making my picks, there's a lot of things I like to do. I like to think about what could possible upsets be and what is the value of me picking this upset. Because if I pick this upset and the upset doesn't happen, a lot of times there's going to be a lot of people that get a point on you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They picked just the favorite and the favorite won. So then you're already behind. But if you pick some upsets, you pick it and you could get an advantage, on the rest of the competition. And that's even more true as the rounds progress because you get more and more points as rounds progress. So if you correctly pick an upset in the Sweet 16 or Elite 8, or what I did a couple years ago was when Auburn made that Final Four run, I had Auburn in the Final Four. So I was able to, as those rounds went on, Auburn kept winning and I kept getting points on my competition because nobody else had Auburn. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you need to try and pick upsets, especially later on in later rounds, that other people might not think of and that you could gain an advantage. Because there's going to be so many upsets this year. There's already so many potential number 1 seeds that literally lost in their conference tournaments to probably 10 or 11 seeds in the tournament. So every single team is vulnerable. Even Gonzaga is vulnerable. They'll probably get knocked out 2nd or 3rd round just because people are going to be oh yeah, it's just Gonzaga's going to win it. like they're the only one that hasn't like gotten like they're the clear number 1 seed, they're the clear favorite, and then they're probably just going to get knocked out. That's just because that's just how it is in March, you know. So I would say look at the value of your picks. Also look at individual matchups. So sometimes there's a team that has a lot of size and that they can get an advantage that way because they'll play bully ball. Sometimes there'll be a team that forces a lot of turnovers, and the team they're playing commits a lot of turnovers. So then they have a huge advantage in the turnover battle. Same thing with rebounds. If one team is really good at offensive rebounding and the opposing team is really bad at defensive rebounding, then they could get so many extra possessions just from offensive rebounding. So it is very dependent on the matchups. So yeah, those are my 2 things.
You want to hear my strategy?
Yes.
Okay, so it starts, you got the round of 64. First round, my strategy is quick. I pick teams quickly. I don't do any thinking. It's just like I write down the name. Obviously, I look at the seeding, and I generally know a very, very, very small bit about college basketball. But, if I take more than 5 seconds to make the pick, I'm taking too long. I just got to write something down quick, go with my gut, and I cannot cross it out. I write it down. I go with it. That's it. And that seemed to work the last like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, you got second last year, right?
Yeah. And so then obviously as it moves forward, that's when you have to start thinking. And when I do get to like Elite 8, Final 4, stuff like that, that's when I actually start looking into teams a little more. But round of 64, round of 32 are a lot quicker of a process. Round of 32, maybe like 10 seconds to pick, and maybe like a little like, oh, I heard this team was doing well in this area, let's go with them. But round of 64, I'm telling you, if you take more than 5 seconds to make your pick, you're taking too long.
Nice.
Go with your gut strategy. Always a
so, Luke, you picked Baylor to win last year. Why did you pick Baylor? They did win. Why did you pick them? Like when you were filling out your bracket,
they were a 1 seed, so that
I know, but why did you
pick
Baylor to win it over other 1 seeds or other like every other team? Why'd you pick Baylor?
Because what was the other team that was Gonzaga?
Gonzaga was the other. Yeah.
Because a lot of people were picking Gonzaga, so I'm like, I like Baylor because it's in Texas. Why'd you pick Baylor?
Why'd you pick Baylor?
That too. There you go.
Did they have a good med school?
Illinois.
I don't know. I don't have much reasoning as to why I did it. I just know I've heard that they were good. I saw a lot of ESPN things about Baylor's looking really good this year. Baylor did this well, and I'm like, they're probably pretty good.
Yeah. Parker picked Illinois in the video we made to throw people off.
Yeah, because I didn't actually pick Illinois.
It was very misleading by you.
I didn't pick them to lose to Loyola Chicago like they did in the second round. But you know that's going to happen again this year. There's going to be at least one seed that loses to an 8 seed. So if you can pick that, an 8 or 9 seed. So if you can pick that matchup, you're pretty set. It could be Gonzaga, it could be Baylor, could be Kansas, could be Kentucky. I mean, you're just going to have to figure it out. So, but I will say, if you want to win, like I'm doing a bracket pool, and if you want to win it, you're going to have to pick the upsets correct because there's so many people that are going to be in it.
It's kind of like the underdog strategy that we talked about last week, where you want variance. Like if you finish 5th, that's really like that you had a good bracket, but you don't win money. Like you either want to have the best bracket or anything else. Like if you're middle of the pack, that doesn't matter. So like no one cares if you have a terrible bracket or the 5th best. Like those are essentially the same. You win no money.
Yeah, if you pick mostly all the favorites and a couple 12 or 11 seeds or 13 seeds to win like one game, right? That's what everybody's going to be doing. So you're not going to win the bracket. Yeah, that's just how it's going to be. So in order,
go big or go home.
Exactly. So it's going to be really tough because it's so easy to fall back on the favorite. So easy. Every time you're trying to decide between upset or favorite, there's going to be more reasons to pick the favorite because that's why they're the favorite. You know what I mean? But if you do that, you're not going to win. So it's like you're in a catch-22. You're going to need to force yourself to pick some upsets, and they've got to be major upsets. And you have to hit on those major upsets in order to win. So there's going to be a lot of different things that have to go into it. The winner this year is going to have an insane bracket. Just like last year, Aiden Byler's bracket was absurd. Like
You said in ESPN's it was like 99th percentile or something.
It was top 0.5%. Yeah. So, and Luke's was up there too. Luke's was the top like 2%.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be crazy this year. So I'm excited.
I believe you said the person who finishes last also gets a little cut of money also, just because that's hard to do.
So the total bracket pool, right? Say there's 100 people that do it at $5 bracket. It's $500. We're gonna first take out $5 for the person who finishes last. So the total bracket pool is gonna be 495 plus 5 for the person who finishes last.
Okay.
So then we're gonna take 60% of the 495, 30% of the 495, and 10% of the 495. So
okay,
I like that.
that's how that would work out if there's exactly 100. Hopefully there's more than 100. But
And then at that point, you just figure it out.
exactly. Yeah.
I suggested we promote it on the podcast and Instagram, but Parker's going word of mouth. I believe that Parker, I trust in Parker's sales ability to be able to go throughout the school and be like, fill out this bracket.
I know he is, because alone just from like having conversations with other people, like even Mr. Paulus, I was like, yeah, so like we were talking about our March Madness, and he's like, yeah, Parker said he's doing this bracket this year. And I'm like, yeah, he does that every year. And I'm like, man, he's really good. I heard it from like 3 different people. And I'm like, man, he's really getting the word around.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
You just wait till Monday, okay? So I think I might use you guys as well.
Okay.
Collect brackets.
Now, to help just hand them out.
Okay.
So
yeah.
like, Luke, you're there for a while, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You could just.
I know plenty of people that'd be interested.
Yeah, and just hand it, and then hand out multiple brackets to them and say to them, give
Pyramid scheme it.
Pyramid scheme it.
Exactly.
Exactly. Pyramid scheme it.
Parker, I want you to set a goal for how much money you collect. What is the number that you want to hit?
My goal is 100, but I want it to be over 100. I want more than 100.
100 people.
100 brackets or $100?
100 entries.
Okay. I thought you meant $100. I'm like, Parker, you can easily hand out 20 brackets. Like, that's not hard at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
100 people. I like that.
That's a good goal.
But I think we can definitely do more than that.
How many did we have last year?
We had like 50 or 60.
Okay, yeah, we
double
can.
that.
I don't know. I can't remember exactly, but
I think we could do 100.
We make a push. This Monday, give us brackets at the FCA. Print a ton of brackets this weekend.
Oh,
or like right after Selection Sunday.
No. I'm going into work at like 4:30 in the morning on Monday. To
Serious about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then FCA meeting. Give them to me and Owen.
And Chris. I'll
And
give
Chris,
them to
Anyone else who wants them?
you guys can kind of help me hand it out to everybody.
Yeah.
So basically,
and make sure you clarify that
we're
it's like
getting
a $5
we're getting deep in the details of this right now, but there's also going to be a rules sheet, or like it's not only
Scoring.
rules. It has the scoring. It has the spreadsheet that I'm gonna like link everybody to.
It's the information guide.
It's the information guide.
So it's a lot more in depth than it has been in every other year that you've done it.
Yeah. So
which is good.
everybody's gonna be able to see who's winning and what score they're at right now.
Okay, that's really helpful, because I always feel like I was constantly asking you.
Exactly. And I don't want 100 people constantly asking me.
You can track it live. So
yeah. So basically it's going to be a Google Sheet, and everybody that enters is going to get added as a viewer to the Google Sheet.
Yeah.
So
Luke's finishing second is the highest that any of us have ever finished.
No, I won.
Right? You did?
When I had Auburn, I had.
Oh yeah.
Final four. I won that year. That was
our freshman year.
That was right before COVID.
Okay.
So yeah, freshman.
I remember. Actually, I don't. Sorry, I don't remember. This year, last year I did really well. This year I think I'm having a down year. I'm not feeling it this year. I feel like
you're predicting your own downfall.
No, I am predicting my own downfall.
Well, then pick all the 16 seeds, and maybe you'll just finish last
and get money anyway.
Yeah, you'll get your money back.
Oh, that's smart. Just intentionally make a bad bracket.
But then it's pointless.
Yeah, then why would you even do it? Because it's the same thing as basically
you get $5.
Because you give up $5 and you just get back $5. You're just giving up $5 for a certain period of time.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
It's like $5 that you don't have to spend elsewhere for a period of time.
Yeah.
So it's pointless. You know what I mean? That's why I think it's funny that last place will just get their money back.
Yeah. I started the first March Madness bracket I ever did was 2012, and I started at the peak. It's been downhill ever since because like I knew nothing. 2012, what I would have been 8, and so I was just picking teams randomly, and I was like, Kentucky's my team. Kentucky was an 8 seed. I had them winning the whole thing, and they did.
Wow.
And so my bracket was just like ridiculous that year for absolutely no reason. And I've never been able to replicate that success ever since.
Yeah, because you
Winner's
picked
luck.
Ohio State and Virginia to win, and they get knocked out in the first round.
I've had some very bad luck with my picks
It is
the
the
last few
worst
years.
feeling. And I wouldn't know, but I would assume because my champion has never lost in the first round. But I assume that it is the worst feeling when you're watching your team
Yep.
that you pick to win the championship lose in the round of 64.
It sucks.
Because at that point, you know you don't have a chance to win.
You know you don't have a
Nope.
chance to win anymore because and you know you probably don't even have a chance to get top 3 because in a bracket pool this large, they're probably going to pick the champion, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So when your champion gets knocked out right off the bat, you're like devastated. You're like, well, there goes my entire
It's
bracket.
done.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a really good way of describing how it feels. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Not-
I do feel bad for you, but also you shouldn't have picked Ohio State. You should have known Oral Roberts was going to win.
That's fair. Yeah. And Oral Roberts won another game after that, didn't they? Or they almost won?
And they almost won another game.
Wow. Yeah, that one was interesting. And Ohio State was my last thing with March Madness. My strategy with like picking when we go across is in the round of 64 is the opposite of Luke's, where I do it relatively quick. I kind of make my picks, but then I go back and I make myself change 4 of them to an upset. Like I have to change 4 of these from the favorite to an upset because like I know I have to pick more upsets, but I don't want to. And so I like make myself do it the second time around.
Well, I'm going to get really risky this year just because in order to win, I have to beat out assuming around 99 other people. And that is a lot of people to beat out.
Statistics has helped us. We understand it a bit more now, what it takes to win.
If I play it safe, especially this year, you're probably going to finish bottom 50% if you play it safe.
Yes, pretty much.
I'm excited. It's going to be awesome.
So it's going to be a fun one.
Going to be really fun.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. Yeah.
All right. So we went over everything that happened in sports this past week. So let's do what every big sports platform does to just kind of briefly summarize all the important things that happened in playing Verb It or Verb It, the classic game that we've stolen from mostly ESPN, but a lot of other platforms in which they play a game where they come up with a verb, say it, or another verb that rhymes with the first verb, it. For example, like we talked on at Fox Meadows about the just absolutely horrible game that was played on NBA Today, which was, I am going to have to find it again, but it was a horrible, horrible name that just made no sense. And it's just not creative at all. And so we decided to also not be creative and steal it. So we'll run through the topics and then we can take turns giving our reaction to that thing. So who wants to give the first verb? Then someone else can come up with a verb that rhymes it, and then we can discuss.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Okay. Pop it or rocket.
No,
You come up with the first verb, and then someone else comes up with something that rhymes it.
Okay.
I found it. They were playing Chop It or Drop It on ESPN. Which no one knows what that means. So yeah.
Shake it.
Shake it. Okay, Luke, do you want to come up with something that rhymes with shake?
Get or make it.
Okay. Shake it or make it. Aaron Rodgers stays with the Packers.
I'd say shake it. I wanted to see Rodgers go somewhere else. Not because, I mean, he's been with the Packers for so long and have been so mediocrely successful in the sense that they have won a Super Bowl, but they can't get past the NFC Championship game, let alone beat the 49ers. I really wanted to see Aaron Rodgers go somewhere else. And I think it would have been quite hilarious if he went to the Niners.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have loved to see him be somewhere else and do something else big in another city.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I wanted to see him shake it up, maybe go to the Eagles. Didn't happen, so very disappointing.
I'll say make it because I think if he had left the Packers, he would have had a better chance to make it to the Super Bowl. But the Packers, I feel like there were better options on the market, better teams he could have gone to than the Packers.
Yeah.
I don't know why he wanted to stay with them. He had all of this. He made this whole mess, all this drama just to stay at the end of it.
It's $200 million.
I
That's
guess
why.
so.
200 million. If I gave you $200 million
It's true.
to not move to another city that you don't know, to stay in your same house, to stay in your mansion that you're already comfortable with, would you accept it?
Oh, yeah. But I wouldn't make a mess and like complain about it for 2 years and then agree to it.
Oh, and if I gave you $200 million, would you agree that Tom Brady, or would if I gave you $200 million to call Tom Brady to go and actually believe what you're saying, would you?
Yeah, easy. Yes. You think my takes mean that much? No. $200 million easy.
I stand by my take. You have to pay me. There is no amount you can pay me. My takes are invaluable. Wait.
Yeah, that word doesn't make sense. Invaluable means the same as valuable, and I don't understand it. English is weird.
It is, yeah. All right, next.
Actually, Parker and I in sports literature were discussing a potential truce. Another teaser. We may have a little take truce going on eventually on a certain topic.
I'm starting to turn back on that truce.
Oh no, we'll have to discuss it again in sports lit next week.
I'm not turning back on it. But
okay. I've got the next verb.
We'll talk about it in person. Yeah, give us the first one, Luke.
Freeze it.
Ooh. Freeze it or appease it.
Freeze it or cheese it.
I like Owen's appease it.
I mean, yeah, cheese it would have been good. Unfortunately, I didn't think of that. So we're stuck with it.
For appease it. Went to the Commanders.
Yeah. I'm going to go with appease it because the football team, I wouldn't say they're necessarily a quarterback away, but like they're supposed to have a good defense. They've got some decent pieces, Terry McLaurin, Antonio Gibson. So I think that this will appease their fans for now. And then Wentz will get hurt and throw a terrible interception and it'll all fall apart.
True. I'm going to say freeze it. I think that this will just freeze Carson Wentz. He won't be able to go hunting as much, and I think he's going to suffer in the cold Washington, D.C. They got 7 inches a couple months ago.
I'm going to agree with that. I'm going to say appease it. I think they had the right idea of bringing in a quarterback.
They're a QB factory.
I mean, I think they have the right idea, but I don't think Carson Wentz is going to complete their picture. And it's going to be fun to watch us beat him.
Yes. Yeah. All right, my turn for a verb. Let's go with extract it.
Or pterodactyl.
Yeah, that is how the game is played. Extract it or pterodactyl. Russell Wilson going to Mile High.
I pterodactyl. I mean, I think the Broncos pulled off an insane feat, and the Seahawks completely lost that trade in every aspect possible. So I think I pterodactyl. I think that the Broncos, I think it's going to help them a lot. Despite being in a very, very tough division, they're going to look better, but they're still not going to look as good because they still have to play behind Mahomes and Herbert. But they're going to look better.
Wait, am I going?
Parker and I both just sat there staring at each other. And that is the chemistry that you lose when you're on Zoom instead of in person. I can go. I'm going to extract it because Russ got extracted from Seattle.
Well, quite literally.
I was going to say the same thing.
That's why we were waiting, because neither of us could come up with like a really good creative answer. So you know, it's fine. It's fine. We all went around once. That's probably enough. Verbit or verbit. We don't have a Marvel Minute this week because thankfully there's not too much happening in Marvel right now. But I did send Luke.
I've had thankfully.
Yeah,
I
you should
did.
be
Oh, just
devastated.
because then we don't have to talk about it too much. But
devastated or red hair stated.
what?
I don't know.
I think we've briefly discussed that there are two channels that I very much enjoy more so than the actual Marvel movies, and that's How It Should Have Ended and Pitch Meeting, which both of which just basically make fun of all of the like things in the movies that don't make sense. And I sent, did I send both of you the Spider-Man How It Should Have Ended, or did I just send that to Luke? Luke was the one with the very strong reaction against it. Hated the Spider-Man How It Should Have Ended video.
Is the way that ended is so much better.
I'd recommend it. Go to How It Should Have Ended YouTube channel. They explained multiple different ways that Spider-Man No Way Home How It Should Have Ended. Yeah. I don't know if, okay, now you can see Luke's screen if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening, Luke said all with no responses to anyone else. It's just, I sent the video and then Luke in a row. Nope, it's wrong. You're wrong. Bye, Owen. And then just nothing else. Parker didn't seem to care and I didn't have a response for it. So then there's just nothing until later in the day, in which I texted all caps Tyrese 4-0 in the Harden era, which has been ended because the Sixers lost to the Nets. This episode is going to be full of
Miami
teasers.
first.
Sorry,
Yeah, but Harden didn't play.
Yeah, they lost to Miami as well.
But Harden didn't play.
but Harden didn't play, so that didn't count.
But it ended because Maxey wasn't 4-0 in the Harden era anymore.
Harden was still 4-0 in the Harden era.
Yeah, the Sixers were 4-0 in the Harden being on the court era.
That's different.
That is true.
Because before we were saying like the Sixers have never lost a game where Harden plays, but now they lost to the Nets. And we were going to debut a new segment slash like style shift, but this episode is already quite long. So I think we're going to hold off on that. Give another teaser, and that is that we have a new segment slash approach that we will be introducing, specifically relating to Philadelphia sports. And it may or may not result in a new character as well. Remains to be seen.
Tease.
Tweezer.
So many teases in this episode. At least 3, I think.
Weezer.
Bleeze.
Julius Caesar.
My cheese.
Parker's really good at this.
Ebenezer.
Luke, you're getting dominated right now.
I can't think of anything else.
Yeah.
That was a good game.
There's nothing else that ends in easer. Appeaser.
Belize.
Belizer. If you live in Belize.
That's why I said Belize.
Okay.
Episode 140.
Yeah.
Thanks
I
all
was
for
gonna sit there
joining
and wait.
Avocados from Mexico.